Yeah,
So
sure.
welcome everyone to our second technical session for today. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, based on the time that you are in. It's my great pleasure today to welcome you to the Fifth World Conference on Smart Trends on System Security and Sustainability through Zoom on behalf of Words for 2021 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. So thank you everyone for the presentation in this conference. It will help us to go ahead, and even that we are all suffering from unpredictable circumstances because of COVID-19. We hope that you and your families are safe and having the survival through this tough time. We hope that you will enjoy this session and the rest of sessions for today. And it's my pleasure, first of all, to introduce our chair for today's session, Professor Zaho from the United Kingdom. In brief, if I wanted to go over his profile, the professor is a senior lecturer and a course leader for the bachelor degree honors in computer networks and master's program in computer networks administration and management in School of Computing at the University of Portsmouth. He's interested in software engineering, general AI technologies such as machine learning, deep learning, and information retrieval, as well as cloud computing, smart applications, 3D photography, and Internet of Things. So thank you for being the chair of this session. And to be a little bit practical, we want to move directly to our first presenter. With a pleasure, I wanted to introduce the first paper titled as application of emerging technologies aviation MRO section to optimize cost utilization, the Indian case, which would be presented by Ms. Barali on
At the-
behalf of the I'm sorry, on behalf of the co-authors. So it's yours, ma'am. Could you please I will stop the sharing from my side. Could you please
Sure.
just show your screen, and we are
Yeah, yeah.
all listening to the interesting presentation. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah, it's now it's on. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay,
Go
okay,
ahead,
great,
please.
great. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Mm. Thank you so much for the introduction. We are representing the paper application of emerging technologies in aviation MRO sector to optimize cost utilization, the Indian case. Our authors, we co-authors, Dr. Chandravardhan Guritial, me myself, Aditi Bairolu, and Dr. Lakshmi Guritial.
Hello, good
Going
evening.
ahead.
Yeah,
So regarding the MRO sector, what exactly it is? MRO stands for maintenance and repair overhaul, and it's in the aviation and aerospace sector where parts for repairing and treatment purposes are given to institutes called as MRO organizations across the globe. In India, the MRO sector is kindly pretty weak, but it has a huge scope to grow under the current government and the allocation in the budget about 43% to the aviation sector. The reasons for MRO India, I mean, the penetration of technology into the sector is low due to first reason being that the development cost of capabilities in the sector is pretty huge. The know-how about the technology is less because the senior management consists of 45 plus age group people, and the increase on dependency on vendors given the current situation due to pandemic and regulatory obligations and rules, which are button obvious in any aviation and aerospace sector. It's a very obligatory norm to follow all the rules and regulations. Going ahead, the technology footprint in Indian MRO sector. There's high dependence of analog technology in the sector. Digital is still a new concept. People are used to working manually. Unavailability of testing rigs. Whenever you want to test something regarding in the MRO sector, we don't have the required testing rigs. And no wonder people and the companies prefer to send their parts to OEM, those are the original equipment manufacturers, instead of preferring the Indian MRO and ERP enterprise resource planning. According to a paper published by MIT for in the lean philosophy, if we have digital implementation into the aerospace sector, we can there will be an improvement in all these factors mentioned. Setup time to increase by 17 to 85%, lead time 16 to 50%, labor hours 70 to 71%, Cost 11 to 50%, productivity 27 to 100% improvement, cycle time 20 to 97, factory floor space 25 to 81, travel distances 42 to 95%, inventory 31 to 98, and scrap, rework, etc. 20 to 80%. Those will the decrease in the amount with the current that we are going through in the sector. Again, talking a bit more about what kind of improvements can be developed or we can have in the sector. Having digital security increase the scope for data points. Of course, the number of people employed might be reduced given if we have people working through the digital mode, that would be great. Today, virtual reality and IoT have actually helped revolutionize the single station workplace. This has also created safer places to work on flight nuances, and that can be handled remotely as well. I mean, this situation is really helpful in a situation like pandemic where you cannot really have any contact with the passengers. And overall, when you have IoT in place and emerging technology in place, we have biometrics, etc. We do understand that most of the airports have adopted to biometrics, and in some cases they are in test. But in India, they are yet to introduce. Challenges in the MRO sector is first and foremost the main challenge is that it belongs to small and medium enterprise sector. There exists a huge gap in accepting change and implementing the same. SMEs require funds and investments. This entire sector is risk averse, and technical and technology literacy is less. The research design, we have conducted questionnaire survey and interviews for the same and analyzed data that we have got. Hence, it's qualitative and quantitative research. Um, 1 minute. Okay. Objectives to spread awareness regarding emerging technologies in the sector, to know the reasons for less adoption of MRTech in the sector, to understand mental bias among people of different age groups in the sector. Hypothesis declaration. Two hypotheses is what we see here. First, null hypothesis: no significant relation between age and opinion of individuals towards cost of MRTech in affecting adoption. Alternate being significant relation between age and opinion of individuals. Second hypothesis, no significant relation between age and opinion of individuals. Expecting the MRO sector of India can be at par with global aviation, and alternate will be there will be a significant relation. Moving ahead, after conducting the research survey that we had, we have found the required statistics. The entire sector that we have analyzed, 91.3 sector of the percent of the respondents belong to the aviation and allied sectors. When we asked the question that is high cost a factor for lesser adoption of AI and IoT by Indian Aviation MRO organization, most of them agree to it. I think the count is around 53 point or more than 55%. And when we asked if the high cost factor for lesser adoption of AI and IoT in the Indian MRO sector, these were the responses for the same. When we have the question is a high cost factor for lesser adoption by Indian MRO organization with respect to age group, this was the survey. I mean, when we factored it depending on the age group. And we also conducted ANOVA single factor analysis for the same, and we found that the p value is greater than 0.05, which also states that we do not reject the null hypothesis, and there is no relation in people with higher age group or not accepting the developments that's happening in the sector. Further, going into the survey, is high cost a factor for less adoption? These were the responses that we got. And should AI and IoT be avoided due to employees' resistance to adapt to new technologies? Most of them disagreed, as we can see. It's around 60% of them disagreeing to the question. Moving ahead, um, I mean, the first graph is showing the relation between employee behavior, resistance, and acceptance of emerging technologies. The question is similar to the previous one, but this shows if is there any bias into their minds. The second question, as we go ahead, is: do you think the adoption of AI and IoT will bring Indian MRO industry at par with global aviation. Most of them have agreed to it, and the percentage is really huge. Um, Going ahead, these were the responses for the same. Strongly, if we see, I think more than 50% have agreed to the same. When we consider age group and understand the question if AI and IoT will bring Indian motor sector at par with global aviation, um, again, if we see the most of them have agreed to it. And when we conduct the ANOVA single factor analysis for the same, the p value being 0.91, which is again greater than 0.05. Here again, we won't be rejecting the null hypothesis. That is, there is no relation between age and the acceptance of MRO or acceptance of MRTech in the sector. So the conclusion that we draw through the entire research is awareness about application of MRTech is very limited in the country, specifically when we talk about the MRO sector, considering the people belonging to the senior management belonging to 45 plus age group. Current adoption of MRTech in Indian MRO is limited due to apprehension about cost and intricacies. Of course, when we go about introducing any new technology into any field, um, there are certain apprehensions that we have regarding cost. Majorly, all respondents agree that it will increase efficiency and transparency in the organization. Um, of course, it helps improves the organizational capabilities when there is accountability along with it. The stakeholders agree that the adoption of these technologies will bring Indian MRO at par with global standards, as we have seen in the survey. Um, it will increase the need of data security. The recent malware attacks when we talk about Air India in the country are a good example when we get into data and when we go about implementing or digitizing the entire process. There is a need of data security and huge man force will be needed for the same and people with good data analytics skills, software engineers and all will be needed on board. Enhance the present quality of assurance techniques and help give zero defects, as we have seen in the MIT survey and research for having lean philosophy in the aerospace sector. If we implement digital technology, our technology into the sector, there is a high chance to reduce defects by 81% and to reach to point of perfection. Emerging technology should be adopted in the aviation MRO sector to make Indian aviation MRO sector globally competitive. So the overall conclusion and inference that we can make is that age is definitely not the only thing because of which we should not consider accepting MRTech into the sector. It is just a bias that exists into the minds of individuals, and given the amount of budget allocation by the government and enforcement by public and private sectors um, across India, it would be good that we accept the technology and provide more employment and increase efficiency and efficacy. That's all from our end. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the great presentation. I can't find any question in the chat box, so now we want to get back to our chair for feedback, questions, and any discussion. Uh, yeah, it's yours, Professor.
Thank you, Fausto. I think it's a quite interesting survey study. Now, I guess you are young enough to brand all the people over 45, probably including myself and Dr. Chandravanda. I
Yeah,
think he looks younger than me anyway.
yeah.
Now, it's quite interesting to find out you claimed that the stakeholders agreed. Now, a simple question. Now, do you actually classify your stakeholder as all those over 45s, or you have different way to differentiate a stakeholder, i.e. the decision makers and ordinary participants in your survey?
Okay. Um, Dr. Chandravan, would you like to take the question? So,
Yeah.
would want to know if our respondents belong to the age group of 45 plus, or is it a mixed group that we have?
So now the thing is, Indian MRO sector as such, when we have assessed, we have seen that even at decision makers role, plus 30 plus age group has also come, which was not there earlier, a few years back. I mean, there is a transition which is taking place. I mean, a lot of because of drone industries also started coming up, new technology oriented companies, and you will find the younger generation is also there in that decision maker shoes. And in the process, what happens? But if you go at the senior level, I mean, that gap is still exists. I mean, adoption of technology and all, there is a resistance because they have a phobia of new technology. How, I mean, that is there. I mean, you must have also seen in various industries. So that gap is very much relevant, and that is why we tried to test that is that gap is still exists, and why Indian MRO is still behind. And if, for your information, sir, Indian MRO is currently only $800 million industry, whereas it's supposed to be more than $6 billion. I mean, we are not even fraction of 15%, not even 15% of what we should be. Looking at the number of aircrafts which we are having, more than 600 aircrafts we are having and all. So that gap is there, and this is reason because of that we are not getting EASA and FAA approval. Many of the MROs are not having EASA and FAA approval, and because of that we can't take the global maintenance activities and all. So
Yeah,
these are
great,
the
great.
Sir, hello.
Definitely, definitely.
Hello. One last thing, sir, if may I add to Dr. Chandravadan. So when we conducted the survey, the more than 50% belong to the age group 41 plus or 45 plus. So I think in short, we have answered our question. I hope that's okay, sir.
Yes, yes, but remember, the over 45 now get more access to the the new expensive devices. They
Right.
might catch new AI technology, smart technology better than younger generations, because for my age, obviously I've got more access to the modern technology than actually young age. So you might probably consider kind of thing. And also the last thing is probably now, presumably, the outcome of your research will have a great impact of the decision makers and the stakeholders. So are you going to feedback these surveys into the decision makers so they can take a bit more actions to improve the MRO development to catch the modern technology? I guess yes.
Yes, yes, definitely.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
interesting
They're
research.
giving this input to the management, various management, sir. Being I'm connected with the industry, so we are giving that input. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank,
So thank you for the great presentation, but I hope
thank
that
you.
none of the management would be over the age, so they will not disclose all information. Anyway, we want to go ahead with our presentations. Unfortunately, I could not find most of the presenters, so I wanted to double check if any of the co-authors is here. So for this paper, I could now find Ms. Karina. Is there anyone from the co-authors would present this paper? Okay, then I will move forward to the next presentation with Mr. Garg or anyone of the co-authors. Also, I can't find anyone impacts of blockchain technology and digital marketing. Okay,
I think they
then
are
move.
not here.
Yeah,
Abdullah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Then moving
Abdullah,
forward.
yeah, great.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then moving forward to this to the next presentation, sorry, with Mr. Abdullah from University of Southampton in the United Kingdom. On behalf of your co-authors, you are going to present your paper titled as towards the integrated conceptual model for open government data in Saudi Arabia. So, Mr. Abdullah, I will stop the sharing from my side. Could you please share your screen and turn on your mic? We are all listening to your great presentation.
I think he disappeared. He was
He
there.
may lose the connection. Okay.
I
He
think
may.
wait, give him a
Okay,
few
okay,
minutes to
okay.
recover.
I will flip it and get back to him. Then the next presenter would be Mr. Jason. Is he's also not here, but I'm not sure if any of the co-authors is here.
No,
No,
not him.
no,
I
no,
checked
no. He's
my
not.
PDF file. He
Yeah,
not
yeah.
there. But
He's not
next
here.
time,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good news. Next time, yeah.
This is the one that's only available. So I informed him that he would be the next. Yeah. Mr. Abdullah joined. I will return to him after this presentation. So, Mr. Juzi, it's your turn. Could you please just start the presentation to let us all get well informed about your paper on behalf of the co-authors titled as Does Lying Help in Academia? A survey-based analysis among Indian and students. We are all listening. It's an interesting topic. So please share your screen, turn on your mic, and go ahead. We're all listening to you.
Abdul,
Good afternoon,
Abdul is
and
back, I believe. We can ask Abdul to be the next.
Yeah, Abdullah
yeah,
would be the next. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation to present the paper. Is my paper visible?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, we can see it, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. My co-authors are Esther Jose from the sunny, that is from Buffalo, USA, and Gopi Krishna from VIT, India, and Deva Rico from Colombia. So this is a collaborative work of 3 universities. And we came into this idea of doing this work of does lying help in academia? And we went into the survey. The reason is that um, that academia is considered to be very honest, and then it is known for its integrity. But then do you see people lying there in academia, and how is it going to affect the performance of the candidates? So that is where like we thought of bringing in the total quality management approach, because we talk about the totality of quality in every element of the education system. And then when you are, let me start my video so that I am visible here. Yes. And so how is it that it is going to affect the performance of the students, and whether it is leading to a moral conflict or weakening in academic performance? But then we saw that the results what we have achieved shows that there is, to a certain level, that lying is helping the students academically. But as they grow, as they progress in their academic field, and if the lying intensity increases, it is playing a spoil sport. And also it was discovered that in academic scenario, it is a two-way channel that all the parties, like the teachers or the students or the parents and the academic personnel, they benefit from the fruits of their lies, what they speak. There is what we call as the internal customers and the external customers. The stakeholders are also speaking lies. So we use various tools like the Pareto diagram and the bar charts and the pie charts and the cause and effect diagram to analyze our result and to present the case here. Um, and the introduction here shows that we consider always the education, and mainly the school education or the higher education, as a noble profession. And we expect the highest form of honesty and truth as a teacher and as well as a student. So that means when we talk about lie, it is any slight or complete variation from the truth or the reality. And we normally expect, as academicians or maybe like the teachers and students, we expect that this will not find a place in academics. But the reality is totally different. There is an underlying framework that runs across the educational system itself. That is what we are exploring here. And when there is something which is unpleasant and to gain some support or a following to make themselves happy, or for sometimes no reason at all, the students, they come out with some lies. So once it is pronounced as a lie, initially they may not care about the intensity, but later that may land them in crossroads. And the literature survey shows that like many of the studies were also already conducted in different scenario. It may be like that Angelina Christie has concluded that the social preferences among the religious are influenced by equity concerns, and the more religious, the more they are influenced by equity concerns. And also the other studies were conducted, and how is it that the lies are brought into the educational system was examined in different religious groups or ethnic groups. But here, this study has concentrated on all the groups together. It is not divided into the religious divide, or maybe not according to the place or not according to the economic status, but as a whole, 250 students and other respondents were considered for this study. And the methodology what we have used is that as the total quality management is used as a whole in this study, some of the tools of the total quality management, to start with TRIS, which is a Russian tool that was also used to here to find out the different findings and to increase the use of the different tools and the methodology. And also, like initially we sent around 500 questionnaires to the different groups, but then out of the responses we received, only 220 responses were fully completed. So the remaining were rejected, and only 220 responses were taken from the age group of 11 to 21. That is from the school year to the university age. And this was analyzed, and then you can see here the cause and effect diagram, like is lying a daily phenomenon or lying among the students, the studies, or is it gender based or lying analyzed by others, how it is perceived by others, or when teachers lie to the students, or when the students lie to the teacher. Under these different headings, what are the various elements that are either contributing to lying or how it is affected by these different factors that was analyzed very clearly here. And then among the students lying, 72% led to the 72% of the students were in the university doing their higher studies. And also in the case of the boys and girls, how it differed, that was analyzed using this. But then many people, they said 44% of the respondents responded that they don't remember the amount of lies they tell on a particular day, implying that the lying has become a daily phenomenon. And most of them, they lie to the teachers in one way or other. That is 60.6%. And only 35.2% of the respondents felt guilty after speaking a lie. And then we found out that most of them consider themselves to be above their class average in their academics. That is 56.8% of the learners, even though they were speaking lies, but they were academically successful. And most of them were able to tell when their friends tell lies to them. They were very easily, they were identifying whether his friend was speaking the truth or a lie to him. And most of them feel that the teachers also lie to them, either to encourage them or to get work done from the students. They speak some lies. There is 65.3. And many felt that the teachers lie for only the students' performance. That is 46%. And these are some of the results which we have presented here based on the responses from the students, questions about the motivation, and also the different board of studies they come from. And in conclusion, that with the findings, it is clear that the effect of lying is complex and multidirectional. It is not a simple thing. And it is really alarming that even the institutions that preach and promote honesty are victims of this dishonesty, which runs across both external members, in this case, the students, and the internal members, the teachers and the staff. Excessive lying is negative for any institution, and for that there are a few examples here. And it must also be noted that the students prefer not to lie to their very personal relations like the parents, but they lie to the friends and the teachers, which suggests that they might want to maintain an external phase of success or avoid being judged. That means like they know that they are speaking lies. It is not that involuntary thing that is coming out. And in some cases, lying is proven to be healthy. For instance, if they lie, only that produces positive and fruitful fruit. That is what they have said. In short, the effects of lying are multifold, complex, and this has been proven using the different tools which we used in this study. So that's my conclusion. And with this, I stop my presentation. And if any clarity is required or any questions are there, I'll be glad to answer those questions.
Thank you, Professor Jules. I
Thank
think
you.
very, very interesting, sort of very, kind of untouched area we have ever seen. I guess you should invite me in as well because I worked I'm the course leader to one of the MSc course. Last year, I simply got 80 students from India, but they're actually good. I don't see any lying, any kind of plagiarism from my 80 Indian students. So that's the happy news for you anyway. Yes. So, what do you think the impact of the technology to prevent or to reduce the line? Because what happened is now, if the message is not clear or if the penalty is not severe enough, we will have lots of students trying to cheat and improve their academic scores. But now the modern technology is become more intelligent, such as turn it in prejudice tools that's been widely used across the universities, and we put more strict penalties on the academic mislead. So when you do the survey, do you actually take consideration of those technologies and the rules, the impact of those?
Yeah, but see, the more and more when we are talking about the security and the different tools, like the plagiarism tool is used, even in plagiarism tools, we can see that sometimes the university compromised to the level of maybe 15% or 20%. So that means like 15% or 20% is taken from somebody else's work and it is presented as original work. And we
I
accept
mean,
that.
what I mean is, do you actually compare the sort of a level of the misconduct
Yeah.
without using a tool and with using a tool, and how effectiveness those two will be? But obviously, I know the general research aim of this, and obviously, it does tell us quite a lot of things. And also, it's quite interesting to see the students complain their lecturers or teachers lying.
Yeah, like when a student is not doing very well, but then the teacher comes out telling the student, oh, you are the best student, you are the excellent student, or this is the best batch I have seen in my 25 years of experience. The students know that it is not truth, but it is a lie. But then any amount of tools that we are using will not find out that the teacher is lying, or maybe like to encourage the students, they speak lies. So that means like in a system which we consider that it is really honest, there are problems, and this lying is coming in to some extent. But in the written work, or maybe in any presentation, very easily we can find out with all the tools that we have. But in daily life in our the educational system, sometimes it comes in knowingly or unknowingly.
It is. Yeah, agree. I fully agree. Even without the tools, nowadays it becomes more and more difficult to find out all those misconducts because obviously, students become smarter, and there's so many external sources help them to write the things.
Yeah, that's right.
But it is indeed very interesting research. Thank you, Professor Ross. Yes, keep me informed if you want me to involve. You are more than welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So thank you for the great presentation. We really needed to keep up with the quality of the educational system uh, by preventing the cheating. So now we want to move forward to another presentation again by Mr. Abdullah from University of Southampton. In the United Kingdom, the paper titled as Towards the Integrated the Conceptual Model for Open Government Data in Saudi Arabia. On behalf of your co-author, so could you please just start the presentation? I
Yes,
will
hello.
stop. Yeah.
Hello, just let me please sharing
Yeah. You can do it now. Go ahead.
uh,
Yeah, we can see and we can hear you clearly. Just press F5 and
yes, it's fine now for everybody.
it's now full screen, but if it's not working, it's fine.
Okay, now
Maybe there is a little bit delay between me and you.
is it full screen now in front of you?
No.
Uh,
See, it happens sometime due to some technicalities, maybe in the version. Yeah, it's full screen. Could you be just get back, do it again? Yeah.
excuse me, please, for that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not because of you. It's because maybe of the version of PowerPoint.
Is it okay now?
It's not full screen, but it's fine. You can go ahead with the
Yeah, I think
presentation.
you
Move.
need click slideshow. So if you go to the upstairs slideshow and then
Like
start.
this?
So go to
Yeah,
the top menu, slideshow, and then click
yeah,
start.
Use a slideshow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That,
the button as well. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's brilliant. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Abdullah.
okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for attending my presentation. Before I start, I would like to thank the conference organizer team. So my name is Abdullah Al-Hujailand, and I am a third year PhD student in the Web and Internet Science Research Group at University of Southampton. My research interests are in the field of open government data, and more precisely in the adoption area. The title of my conference paper that I am going to present it in front of you today, it is toward the integrating conceptual model for open government data in Saudi Arabia. I will starting, as you can see, to define by defining the term open government data. What does the open government data mean? The definitions came based on the British government open data white paper. What the define the open government data as a public sector information that has been made available to public as open data. And the open data term, it's mean data that meet the following criteria, the following standard, which is three standards or three criteria. First, the accessible, with no limit for anybody, for any purpose. The second, to be in digital and machine readable format for interoperation with other data. That's mean the machine readable. That's mean that allow the machine to read it instead of just to be in PDF extension. That means only the human being can read it. And the third criteria is free of restriction in use and redistribution. That means that anybody can use it without with a license that tell that you can use it for any purpose. This is the definition, and let me go for more for another slide. The current state of open government data. The government data actually is starting, it's like 1 decade ago. It's 10 years, in 10 years, or around 10 years. The government worldwide adopted this phenomena to make their data free available for in various data to various customers to foster innovation and economic growth. This is the objective of the government. Of course, as well as to increase accountability and enhance the transparency. A private technology organization is considered that to be in the top critical layer in the open government data ecosystem. Therefore, government around the world are encourage private technology organization because this is the key layer to take advantage of this data, to develop new products, new services, or even improve the existing one. While open government has many benefits, there are many challenges that must to be overcome before the open government data can achieve its full potential. This study is exploratory study and focus on to try to know the factor that may impact the decision of organization in Saudi Arabia to utilize the open government data. We offer integrated model to understand why some organizations are willing to adopt open government data while others are not. We are in our paper develop integrated model by employing two popular conceptual model. The first one, which is the well-known in the information system literature, which is the information systems success model. And the second one, the technology organization environment framework, which is well known as TOA model framework. To fulfill the need of the open government adoption context, this theory are expanded to including other three additional components, which is the political leadership, culture, open data intermediaries. Let me go through the literature, but it's so quickly, of course. Why the open government adoption. Government implementation of open government data and relays government data is not enough to ensure sustainability and success without understanding factors that motivate businesses, which is mean it's not enough to adopt this phenomenon by any government and to publish data without understanding which factors that should be understood, who's the motivate the businesses and other users to use this data. Therefore, the increased interest in open government data highlights the question on how government can boost the use of their open data. For example, number of scholars point out that while open government platform include a large number of data sets, only limited number have been downloaded and used to develop new products and services. These barriers are including political, legal, financial, organization, factor, and so on. So it's important to understand there is no one way to overcome these challenges. Open government data is the benefits of open government data. The open movement has encouraged government worldwide to accomplish a range of objectives, including enhanced transparency, accountability, citizen participation, as well as stimulating creativity and innovation in society, and maximizing the economic value, of course. The challenging that face open government to achieve this goal, the Open Government Initiative came into being with many promise of benefit over the last decade. Many businesses and civil society organizations worldwide have used open government as a major resource for their activities. However, the open government movement has faced various of challenges that have affected data user to access to these data, leading to decrease in its use. The challenging facing the success of the Open Government Data Initiative is different either from the side of government or from the user side. Regarding the short time of presentation, I try to recommend you to have a look to the paper, and I will in short give you just spotlight for as examples. For perspective data supplier, which is in our case government, many countries face challenges when implementing open government data, and each country require different strategy and feature depending on priorities. It is generally understood that there is no particular strategic model that match all culture and all country. From the data user side, number of scholars have highlighted the number of challenges and including poor quality and uncompleted nature of published data set, difficulties in combining data from different government agencies, because different government agencies who's using relate some data which should be related, but because each government body use different strategy, different data sets that will make it difficult for user to combine these data. Lack of technological infrastructure for user and human resource capable or
I'm sorry for interruption, but we have 3 minutes more.
sorry. Let me jumping now to the methodology I used. As this nature is exploratory study, I use semi-structured interview yes. To obtain data from 14 experts who are owner or senior manager from different private technology organization and data expert in Saudi Arabia. The interview aimed to examine the factors to determine that's determined in literature and identify other factors that are not defined in previous study that may influence private organization technology to adopt and use open government data. The research population consists of participants who is considered expert if they have at least 5 years of in industry experience or working in a private technology organization. Our result from 19 factors that have been analyzed by quantitative and qualitative data, we have found all of them it's statistically significant except 6 factors. That mean that's it's not statistically significant, but what we are did although that the test what we used based on the expert opinion indicate that 6 factors have no statistically significant impact the private technology organization. Finding from previous studies show that 2 of these factors have major influence on adopting open government data. These factors are competitive pressure and risk and uncertainty. So these 2 factors we included in our model, and other factors we removed.
Less than 1 minute more, so could you please just conclude?
Let me conclude. Actually, I am almost done now. We use the expert interview approach to confirm the factors that have been identified by literature review, and we find that the 5 of the factors have not statistically significant, but we including 2 of the 6 and remove the rest. And this is our model, which is contained from 2 sides, the supplier side and the demand side. The supplier side consists of 3 categories, and each category contain a number of factors. And the supplier side, it's present the government side, and the demand side, of course, by the name, it is the over the user side. And we including and expanding the model by 3 factors, which is the political leadership and culture and open data intermediaries. This is our the model, and this is the end of my presentation. And if you have any question, I will.
Thank you, Abdullah. We don't
About
have any
the-
question in
why
the
I am not organize the time, and
yeah.
I am really sorry about that.
No, it's fine, Abdullah. Thank you. We don't have questions on the chat box, but our chair may have some question contribution or even
Yeah,
feedback.
just a quick question. Now, Abdullah, you mentioned from the UK infrastructure. Have you actually kind of adopted the reasonably well-developed UK open government data infrastructure and applied to the Saudi one? I know, I understand probably the Saudi one is yet to be developed. And also, what do you think among, just look at this picture, among these 3 categories, which category you think has the most impact of implement the open data infrastructure?
Do you mean which the most factor it's more impact the user?
More decisive. What is the biggest barrier of creating the open government data infrastructure?
I think all these factors, it's important to consider for to understand which factors that impact the private technology organization to use and adopt open government data. Am I understanding your question, or I am misunderstanding you?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. No problem at all. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah, for the presentation. Thank you for everyone here. I think that the last author is also not here, so
I think next one is Sachin. Sachin is here.
he returned. Sorry, Sachin.
Yeah.
Sorry, this one?
Mr. Greg.
Yeah, Mr. Greg. I'm sorry, because I'm looking always to the family name. It's always easier for me as non-native for all of these languages. So I'm really sorry for that. So, Mr. Greg, we are lucky to have you again, and it's our pleasure all to listen to your presentation titled as Impact of Blockchain on Digital Marketing. Personally, I'm interested in this area because I have some common research interests with you. So on behalf of your co-authors, could you please just share your screen and start with the presentation? We are all listening. All the best. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Good evening. My screen is visible or not?
Yeah, it's visible and we can hear you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I am Sachin Garg, a research scholar at MVN University, Haryana, India. And I am here to present a paper titled Impacts of Blockchain on Digital Marketing under the guidance of Dr. Sachin Gupta and Dr. Bhumi Gupta. Next one. Yes. First of all, I would like to highlight the objective of the work done. We started with exploring issues and various challenges in digital marketing. And we started the exploring issues and the challenges in digital marketing that we then explore emerging technologies like blockchain and its scope in digital marketing. We found blockchain has significant features that can be used to design effective systems for addressing issues of digital marketing nowadays. Then we selected a use case that is loyalty programs under digital marketing and design blockchain-based conceptual model for digital marketing use case. Next, there are many types of digital marketing practices like search engine optimization, SEO, pay-per-click advertising, that is PPC, social media networking, influencer marketing, public relations, PR content, email marketing, mobile marketing, brand journalism, video marketing, audio marketing, affiliate marketing, native advertising, live chat, augmented reality marketing, frequently asked question, that is FAQs, and instant messaging marketing. That are the various portions of the digital marketing. Next one, following is the list of frauds that are available in digital marketing are impression fraud. Impression fraud is basically related to generating fake ad view count by using smartly designed bots. Second one is click fraud. Click fraud is basically related to fake clicks by using transparent layers on content or duplicate clicks. Third one is affiliate fraud. Affiliate fraud includes fake affiliates to generate leads, impressions, sales, or clicks. Fourth one is lead fraud. It uses people to fill fake lead generation forms. E-commerce frauds. It involves generating sales and earn commissions by using orders cancelled later. Next one is source traffic. That includes buying fake traffic to boost the ranking of a website. Next one is fake website. It sell advertising space in unethical manner. Next one, here is blockchain. A typical blockchain system has various components that are node, transaction, blocks, chain, network node, consensus, algorithm, smart contract. In a node, in this diagram shown, a node is a computing device that can help user to initiate a transaction, and transaction is an activity that involves data which related to transfer of value or asset. Block, that is a bundle of transactions to be sent to all the nodes in the present network. And chain is a connected series of blocks connected to each other in a well-defined order. Network node role are the nodes that perform the block verification process at the time of transactions. Concessions is a set of rules and computations to facilitate block verification. And last one, smart contract. Smart contract include terms, conditions, and other business rules that govern business transactions programmed into a software and gets invoked automatically when transaction is initiated by the user, and all conditions are executed as per the terms of all the stakeholders to control and document legally relevant facts, events, and various actions according to the specifications of the contract. Next, features of blockchain. There are main features of blockchain are immutability, distributed ledger. It provides distributed ledger facility. It provides enhanced security, consensus algorithms. Next one, blockchain for digital marketing. In this, how is blockchain used in digital marketing? Blockchain can help to consolidate customer trust in the digital world. It can give more online ad authenticity, brand transparency, support cross-platform with influencers, and reward customers for data sharing. Both users and advertisers feel that control over their data is slipping out of their grasp. Blockchain can make data-driven marketing more transparent by validating and analyzing every consumer's journey through verified ad delivery, confirming that a real person which saw the ad as per the specifies of a media contract. Next one, use case loyalty program in digital marketing. Firstly, loyalty programs are sponsored by retailers and other businesses. It offers rewards, discounts, and other special incentives as a way to attract and retain the existing customers. They are designed to encourage repeat
Sorry for
business.
interruption, but we have 2 minutes more.
Yes, ma'am. They are designed to encourage repeat business, offering people a reward for store brand loyalty. The figure demonstrates a basic flow diagram of such a system. Blockchain-based system can ensure security and immutability along with compliance to all vendor-specific rules by using a smart contract. This figure shows flow of a transaction initiated by a user and after successful processing of a transaction. In this use case loyalty program diagrams, there are the network nodes, smart contract. We use the reward points management system. We use the reward point management system for the loyalty based programs. Here are the many types of loyalty programs are available: rewards point programs, cashback loyalty programs, punch card programs, tiered loyalty programs, premium loyalty programs, or hybrid. But we use the rewards point management systems to implement in this sorry, to implement in this paper. Yes. Next conclusion: blockchain is modifying digital marketing in a richest way, which probably, am I audible? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Which
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
erasing out of entire generation of traditional companies. Certainly, the positive effect of blockchain in digital marketing is not just in the new use cases that are emerging. It is how those use cases will influence whole systems that are part of the digital marketplace. Digital marketing appears to be evolving with information technology, but blockchain is modifying digital marketing in a richest, perhaps even irrevocable manner. These are the references which I use to read at the time of written paper and my presentation over. If you have any question, any doubt, then you can ask.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the presentation. It's really informative and well presented. Thank you for the presentation. So I don't have any question in the chat box here. Lucky you don't have much complicated life with the questions, but our chair for sure has something to add or have some questions. So it's over to you, Professor. What do you think about the
Thank you,
presentation?
Faraz. Yes, it is quite sort of interesting. Now, one of the observation I will probably make is that normally a blockchain model will be able to reflect the weights of different impacting factors. So, for instance, obviously these days the impact of the social media will become much greater than impact of the old email system. So how do you actually reflect? How do you blockchain actually reflect the different impacts or different weights of each marketing means for the modeling?
Uh, I am not understand, sir, your question. Can you repeat or my associate?
Okay, that's
are
fine.
also
Okay, let's
witnessed
make it simple.
to answer
Okay,
you.
now you have a lot of different impact factors in the digital marketing. Okay, for instance, let's make it simple. Social media, email, they have different impact levels of the marketing. Social media will attract more people these days than email marketing. So how do your blockchain model reflect the differences between different marketing means or different ways of marketing? So for instance, how do your blockchain differentiate between social media impact and
Okay, sir.
email
Okay.
impact?
Sir, it is used by the identity management and for users and transaction integrity with the help of.
Okay, that's all right. It's just anyway, as I've said, it's just the observation. In your next development of the blockchain, you will need to actually develop a kind of weighting system to differentiate the different marketing impact factors. So it will be reflect a better model of your blockchain. It's just observation anyway. Thank you for the interesting talk. And first, you muted yourself.
So I was talking to myself. Okay. I'm really sorry for that. So it's the closure time. It was a nice session, well informative, lots of ideas and brainstorming for sure to everyone, even those who did not get the chance to present, but at least we can show their titles. So we are sorry for missing them. But at the end, I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all of our presenters will for sure add something to our knowledge, which is really informative, and we hope that it's the same for everyone in this session. Dear presenters and authors, you will get your digital certification within a couple of business days. Also, the publication would be there within 5 to 6 months. It takes time, but we have already communicated the Springer for this purpose. But please keep an eye and try to cooperate as much as possible with our team to make the progress as fast as possible and get our target. So I also would like to thank our chair for the great contribution, for the questions, and for the little bit challenges that you have tried to make to our authors. But for sure, it's great to everyone, and it's their pleasure to listen from a professor like you holding your profile. So thank you, sir, for that. Unfortunately, we are having COVID lockdowns and restrictions on travel. However, we still have a chance to make a memory and have a picture. So could you please just turn on your cameras for a second and I will take a picture in my way, but we will still have a smile and have to say cheers, counting down. So could you please just turn on your cameras where I can take the picture? Okay, it's brilliant. Okay, then let me just change the view. Yeah, it's brilliant like this. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's done. Thank you for the session, for your time, and see you soon in next session. It would be also informative and have lots of great ideas. It would be almost by 2, so please try to join us. We are looking forward to see you again there. Good luck to everyone. Thanks again for the presentation and your time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.